Alright, good morning everyone and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, I am DSP and I welcome you here to a new streaming week. This one will be a little bit shorter than usual. It'll be 5 straight streaming days for me until my next day off, which will be Tuesday of next week. And if everything is according to plan and stays according to plan, okay, Tuesdays will start to be my regular day off again. For the longest time, I'm talking like a year, Tuesdays were my day off every week. And people really liked that because most game releases these days are coming out on Fridays, not on Tuesdays. So it didn't really affect things that much having a Tuesday off as my day off for the week. And in addition, it really worked out for my wife and I because having that day off, it's not a very busy day. When you go out on a Tuesday, usually there's way less people than, say, you know, on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Less traffic, less people in the stores, less people at restaurants, and it allowed us to have a more enjoyable day off. You know, for many months now, sadly, my day off has kind of rotated around different days because of, essentially, my wife's work schedule changing. As I've told you guys, she actually swapped between several different shifts and positions. And now finally it looks like she'll be settling into a hopefully set time schedule that may or may not change. We hope it will not, because she likes it how it's kind of lined up now. And if this is the case, then it means every Tuesday will be our day off from now moving forward. So today is Thursday, July 22nd, 2022. 2021. I jumped the gun. I'm very excited for the next year, if you can't tell. But anyway, yes, today is Thursday the 22nd of 2021, and I welcome you all here to my first of 2 gameplay streams for the day. A full day of streaming today. I hope you guys are excited. Excuse me. Got quite a lot to talk about today, so I'm just going to jump right into the thick of it. There's many things to talk about today. Obviously, I would like to talk about my day off yesterday and how it didn't really go according to plan. I want to talk about gaming news because there's ginormous gaming stories that have come out. In fact, EA news this morning, 2 giant news stories out of EA at this EA Play event that just ended that I want to talk about, as well as the Activision Blizzard news, which is horrible. I want to talk about stuff regarding this channel, special events. Right now, there's a poll going on for the upcoming special marathon, and also I have a special surprise announcement. That I'll talk about later. But anyway, let's get into the thick of things, folks. First of all, let's get started because there's so much to talk about. Today's stream will be the continuation of Skyward Sword HD. And unlike Monday, where we got interrupted by the arrival and unboxing of my new Acer laptop, which, by the way, is working really well right now. Smooth operation and all of that. We will not be interrupted this time. We'll just be playing a full stream of Skyward Sword HD, which means likely we'll be heading into the second dungeon and likely wrapping it up. So today should see some major and positive progress in Skyward Sword HD on the first stream. Okay? Now, my late stream is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, as previously scheduled. Should be a good time at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Although the news today that we're going to talk about in Activision Blizzard is so heinous. Some people literally have asked me, am I going to continue to play Call of Duty, or will this be my last session tonight? I don't know. I guess we're going to see what happens. But we got to talk about this news, and some of you who don't know what I'm talking about may actually be shocked and appalled at the news to talk about, if you can believe it. Okay. So anyway, that's today's streams. Tomorrow, Friday, will be the continuation of Fallout New Vegas, and it looks like if we have good progress, we will likely complete the Dead Money DLC tomorrow on stream. It's been a great DLC so far. I played about 4 hours into it and, you know, made solid progress. It's very challenging, but at the same time, it is fun and interesting, and I can't wait for more tomorrow. Tomorrow night's late stream, as usual on Friday nights, is my throwback Street Fighter session for the week. Well, I played 2 hours of old school Street Fighter fun. Hope you'll join me for that as usual. Then Saturday, Sunday, Monday will be alternation between the games. So it'll be either Skyward Sword or Fallout, you know, alternated I'm not exactly sure which I'll play more of since it's 3 days. I could play one game twice and one game once. It really depends, I guess, on your feedback. If you guys want to see more Fallout, I'll do that. If you want to see more Skyward Sword, maybe I'll do that. Okay? Now, it's also kind of the same deal with the late streams over the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, it could be more Mass Effect. And if we play 2 sessions of Mass Effect 3, that means that we will likely finish up the Citadel DLC and head into the end game of the game, story-wise. Meaning we'll be really a strong push to finish it. The flip side of that is if we do more Danganronpa V3 instead and do 2 sessions of Danganronpa and 1 stream of Mass Effect 3, then we'll likely head towards the end, if not get to the end of Danganronpa V3, because we're now in the final chapter, which is super fast-paced. We're getting all the story developments and everything. So I'm actually on the fence about which I should play more of. Again, I may just leave it in your hands to determine what we do over the weekend. Okay? Now listen, I'm well aware that the new season of Fall Guys released. And some people are asking me, gee, Phil, are you going to play it? Why haven't you played it yet? Well, it's very simple. Because I'm in the middle of so much going on right now in my schedule. Alright? I am making a strong push to try to finish up what I'm playing, because people actually want to see me play some new stuff pretty desperately. Like, honestly, ever since I got the Xbox Series X a little over a week ago, people have been asking me, constantly, to play stuff under Game Pass. And I'm like, man, I really want to. There's so much under Game Pass, right? That would be really, really exciting to play. I want to check out The Medium. I want to check out more of Grounded. I want to play one of these many games that are under there. And I just don't have a chance, because if I do that, then I delay finishing up these long-standing playthroughs in Mass Effect 3 and Danganronpa V3 that I can finish potentially within a week to a week and a half. Okay? So I really don't see the point in doing random streams of Fall Guys or other stuff now, when if we really stick to our guns and we focus in on what I'm doing, I can finish up these games sooner rather than later. That'll actually give us some flexibility heading into August, because the first 2 weeks of August, there's nothing new coming out, but then all of a sudden the second half of August is insane with new releases. So of course what I would like to do is continue to play as much as I can, finish what I can, get as far into the current games I'm playing as I can, so that when August hits, in the middle of August starts up, we have time to play the new stuff, you see? So, that's what I'm thinking. Let's focus in on what I'm doing. Let's not throw random stuff into the mix. Perhaps when we finish up these games, Mass Effect 3 and Danganronpa V3 particularly, then if we want to do a random stream of Fall Guys, check out the Game Pass stuff, that's when we can do that stuff. Okay? Sounds good? I hope so. Alright. So that's what's going on schedule-wise. Now, a few things to talk about behind the scenes. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, the poll to determine the upcoming marathon event is live right now. If you're on DSP Gaming on YouTube watching this stream, you could go to the community tab on the page. The poll is there, and you can vote on what marathon you would like to see, either in the very tail end of July or early August. Likely it's going to be early August. I'll be transparent with you here. All right, I'm going to refresh the poll right now and let you guys know what I see, because I want to take a look myself. I actually posted up this poll kind of last thing on Tuesday before I took off for my day off. And here are the results so far. Keep in mind, this poll's only been live for about a day and a half. What type of marathon would you like me to hold to celebrate hitting 200 members here on the channel? You can only vote once. And the choices are Indies Marathon, Retrospective Marathon, and Xbox Game Pass Marathon. An Indies Marathon would mean that people would nominate indie games for me to play in a marathon setting. Usually I play 4 to 5 of them. Sometimes if I like a game so much, I'll actually adopt it for a full playthrough. Okay? Retrospective Marathon. In that event, you guys nominate your favorite moments from my over 13 years as a content creator. We sit down and watch them together, and I give you kind of reactions and commentary on said, footage that we watched together. Or an Xbox Game Pass Marathon, which would essentially be, we would take a night stream, and sit down and look at all the stuff available under Xbox Game Pass. You guys would note what's available there, and we would talk together live on that stream about what you guys would be interested in, and then we would narrow it down to maybe 10 games, and then you guys would do a poll and vote on which of those games you guys would want to see during the Game Pass event. And once we narrow it down, we'll do a marathon where maybe I check out 4 or 5 different games from Game Pass, okay? Now, no matter what wins the poll, I'll also be doing my next episode of Feasting with the King. This is the show that I just debuted earlier this month. When I did, I absolutely loved doing it because it was something brand new and refreshing and different. Instead of just doing a DSP Tries It where I try like one piece of food or sandwich or something, I ate a full meal, multiple courses, multiple items, and I shared that meal with you the entire time I was eating. I was talking, interacting, having a good time, having discussion. So the next episode of that show will be during this marathon. And yes, you guys will also be able to vote on the kind of cuisine for that show as well. Okay? So, that being said, the voting is as follows. With 2,100 votes already cast, but the poll is still running, the Indies Marathon has garnered 17% of the vote. The Retrospective Marathon currently has 30% of the vote. And with an overwhelming 52% majority of the votes so far, over 1,000 people have voted for the Xbox Game Pass Marathon. I guess you guys really like the idea of me playing my Xbox Series X and checking out games on it, which I am totally for. I see no reason why that would not be a fun and viable marathon. Okay? So, that being said, guys, that being said, let me get some water here. That being said, I certainly hope that you guys will vote if you have not. Again, please check out the community tab. All right, on here on my DSP Gaming channel, and please vote. All right, please do, and I'll let that poll run likely over the course of this coming weekend, and I'll keep mentioning it here on the streams so you guys know to vote. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do for the marathon, and we'll start working on that. Like I said, we're going to have to do like a night where I go through the Game Pass stuff, and we determine what games are eligible and stuff like that. It's good stuff. All right, so all that being said, good stuff all around there. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has become a channel member here on the channel, because it was hitting that 200 members mark that allowed that marathon to be unlocked to begin with. And I'm very excited to do that marathon. We're currently at 215 out of 250 members. If we hit 250 members by the end of this month, in the next week essentially, I will do another special celebration in order to say thank you. What would it be? I don't know. We can talk about that. We can try to figure out what you guys would want. But there are many, many benefits to becoming a channel member here on my channel, including getting access to 18 emotes and growing, because every 25 members we are gaining a new emote unlocked. Getting a highlighted name in the stream chat. Getting a cool chat crown badge next to your name to show how long that you've been a channel supporter. As you guys can see, many people have different levels of crowns showing up there. And on top of all of that, you don't have to abide by the slow mode rules that are running in the chat. You can talk as much as you want if you are a member, okay? So with all those benefits, please consider becoming a member. I would really appreciate it if you did. It helps the channel out. There are levels of membership that help me more. If you'd like to do a higher level to give even more support to the channel, I appreciate all of that. All right, please consider it. Now, excuse me. You may notice at the top of your screens, ladies and gentlemen, if you take a look at the stream stats leaderboard, I've adjusted the tips goals on a stream basis to $150. And here's why. I am out of the risk factor for now when it comes to my income, because I got paid by YouTube yesterday. And we're going to talk about that in a moment, because I want to talk about what a stressful day it was yesterday for us because of this, and how we've now learned and are not going to be doing the same thing we did yesterday, that's for sure, again. But I did get paid yesterday by YouTube. Nowhere near as much as I used to get paid by Twitch, but still a good amount. This is going to cover bills through the end of the month. And so I'm not looking to raise a whopping $200 a stream anymore. All right? But I'm not back to where I was on Twitch taking a look at my income. I'm definitely nowhere near as making as much as I was when I was on Twitch. So the goals will remain at $150 a stream. and that means that the rewards will remain the same as they've been. At $50 raised of tips, there'll be gunner glasses. At $100, you guys will get to pick a vest for me to wear, and at $150, cowboy hat. Okay, now, for the foreseeable future, as long as nothing changes, all right, as long as nothing changes, this should stay as a constant of the channel, all right? That means hopefully we won't have to see the tip skull change again or anything like that. I'd like to have this be the steady level that I'm looking to do every stream, okay? Now, I realize I'm not going to hit it every stream. I'm not going to make $150 every stream I do. I know that. I'm not being ridiculous or having over-the-top, ridiculous expectations, all right? Even during the vest streak last year, which lasted how many months, right? I wasn't hitting $150 a stream. So I know it's not going to happen every stream. When it does happen, I'll be very grateful that it does happen, all right? But this is what I'm aiming for, and here's why. Right now, I have about 200, members. I used to have 900 on Twitch. Just that difference alone of 700 missing memberships, all right, is equivalent to, if you do the math, around $1,500 or more a month. And that's missing income for me right now. So I got to try to make that up with tips to make ends meet, which is why the tips goals went originally from 100 to 150 a stream. All right, so that's what we're aiming for. Now, long term, once memberships build slowly, which I wholeheartily believe that over the course of 2021, especially the next few months, second half of August is outstanding for new releases. September, October, November will be jam-packed with new releases, right? Especially because I now have Xbox Series X and Game Pass, I'm going to be able to play more new releases than I previously was able to because the cost will not be a major factor, you see? I fully expect that we will get more people coming to the channel, checking out the channel, and becoming channel members and supporting the channel via methods like super chatting, etc., than we had previously. Right now, there's been a summer lull where there hasn't really been much going on in games. So I'm not shocked that we didn't get a giant, overwhelming grouping of support coming over to the YouTube streams when there's nothing really going on besides kind of downtime playthroughs, right? So, all that being said, this should be a steady level now, hopefully. Hopefully everything goes according to plan. Hopefully everything stays good, and as long as I'm making a good amount of tips every stream, it doesn't have to hit the goal every stream. It would be great if we did, but as long as I'm doing a good amount there, as long as there's memberships, as long as people are supporting via super chat to super stickers and all that crowdfunding support, hopefully things will be good moving forward. I'm looking to avoid having any kind of a fucking annoying ass crisis happening in the near future. It would be great if we could avoid that. Okay? I hope so. Now, I want to talk about yesterday, because I got stuff to get off my chest about yesterday. Alright? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware, I have a Twitter account. I use that Twitter account usually just to post up about my schedule here on streams, and or if I have an opinion about gaming news or something like that and I want to toss it out there right away, I will. Every once in a while, I'll do a little bit of commentary on something else. And if something is going on personally in my life that either affects the streams or something that people will be interested in hearing about on a stream, I'll tweet about it, okay? Now, I have over 25,000 Twitter followers. I'm well aware that probably the majority of those are sarcastic or ironic followers who just watch to laugh. They think that my life is some kind of a running comedy skit. They want to make fun of me constantly. Those people are pathetic losers because those people only revel in the misery of others. They're waiting to hear about something bad happening to me so they could just jump on that bandwagon of hate and crap all over me. They're scumbags because normal people who have positive lives and great things going on in their lives don't spend all of their time hating on others. They focus on the positive stuff in their own lives. So these people are way more miserable than I will ever be. And I know that. That's why when I tweet and I get 90% nasty responses from basically brainless idiots, I don't really care. I'm well aware that that's going to happen because these people are fucking scumbags. I don't care about what a scumbag says about me because I don't live my life based on negativity. I base it on a positivity that you guys give me. And I really, really appreciate the fact that you guys, like what I put out there and you support me the way that you do. If you don't notice, when you're on these live streams, things are a lot different. People are coming here and they're enjoying the content. We're having a good, positive social interaction. We're insulated from that nonsense because of, moderation and because, we have things in effect to stop the morons from coming on here. And I am very appreciative of what I like to call the silent majority. The amount of people who ongoing support me through various means. It might mean that you just watch my content quietly in the background. It may be that you watch my content and every once in a while you support me via various means, but you don't say anything about it. I realize this is the vast majority of people who watch my content are the silent majority. They're not people who speak up. They're not people who are known. You want to know why? Because people who sadly do speak up and are known get harassed by those fucking pieces of crap who stalk me and harass me on the internet. So if you're a fan of mine and then you say something positive on my Twitter, someone might come after you and harass you on your own Twitter because this is, again, a no-life loser. They have nothing positive going on in their lives. All they want to do is bring down people who have positive things in their lives, so they go after people who are positive on the internet. They're basically, messed up in the head. So that being said, I tweet not for the 90% of negative responses I'm going to get, but for the 10% of people who are watching that and are like, wow, that was meaningful, that was interesting, that was insightful, and I appreciate that Phil still goes out there and shares his thoughts and shares things going on in his life with us, despite the fact that he gets so much hate for it. Okay? So, that being said, alright? That being said, yesterday, I had my day off, alright? And during my day off, some bad crap happened that was completely unexpected and actually very negatively affected me and my family here. I was supposed to get paid by YouTube yesterday, and I was waiting on that money to arrive to do everything that I needed to do on my day off, including grocery shopping and buying supplies for Jasper and a few other things. There's a few other things we really needed badly around the house, and I didn't have any money for it. I had, no lie, less than $100 to my name yesterday for my day off, and that was from leftover tips that you guys had given me on Tuesday. As I told you guys during the day on Tuesday, I said, oh, great, because you guys supported me so much on the first stream, that's it. I've paid all the payments I needed to make, and now I made a little bit extra on the late stream, and that's what I had for basically spending money for Wednesday, but it was fine because I knew I was going to get paid by YouTube on Wednesday. Okay? So what happens? My YouTube payment doesn't show up. And I'm stumped because every single time that I've now been paying attention to this YouTube payment for the last several months, since I don't have a Twitch partnership anymore, I've been reliant on this payment coming through. It's always come through overnight. I'd be asleep and I would wake up in the morning and the money's there. Great. Let's go shopping. Let's do this. Let's do that. It didn't happen this time. I woke up and there was nothing, and I'm like, well, that's not good. What the hell's going on here? And it actually, I'll be honest, it scared me a bit. It did. It honestly scared me a bit. That, oh. Huh. I got a positive email here from something that I actually ordered yesterday for food. Well, that's cool. Anyway. Sorry, I got distracted because my phone vibrated and ends up being something really good. Anyway, so yeah, yesterday was basically a very shocking day because this is something that I depend on. Something that now is my main source of income. That one YouTube payment I get a month is what my one giant payment I get from anyone a month. Any other income I make is you guys tipping me. That's it. I get YouTube payment and you guys tipping me. That's all the money that I make here. Okay? And when it didn't come through, I was nervous. I was like, does this mean that it's delayed? Does this mean I'm not getting it today? This is my one day off a week. What am I going to do? Like, I don't have enough money to go grocery shopping, but also get food today to eat with my wife. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm basically nervous about what's going on here. I don't know what's going to happen. So I tweet about it. Now, when I tweet this out, okay, I am not asking for anything. I am not saying, oh, rally the support, I need your help. Nothing like that at all. I'm just sharing what's going on in my life on Twitter. That's the point of fucking Twitter, right? Right? to share things going on in your life. Like, that's what social media is supposed to be for. So I share this, and I'm like, man, you know, this kind of sucks. I don't even have enough money to go grocery shopping for the week right now, and I really hope that the payment comes through. That's it. That's all I had to say. People freak out, of course, the shitheads. Oh my God, he's saying that he's starving. He has no food in the house. What's he going to do? Wow, all that money he raises on every stream, he has no money for the house, and blah, blah, blah. So every piece of garbage on the internet craps on me collectively. Like a big, disgusting duty bomb hits my Twitter account, and it is revolting. It's vile. If you read some of these comments, it's some of the most nasty, toxic, just full of vitriol and hate. Some of the most fucked up stuff I think I've read on the internet in a long time. People wishing that I lose my business and my livelihood. People making fun of me because I don't have money for the day. You know, it's really fucked up what these people do. They're scumbags. I can't imagine anyone reading a comment that someone would leave on Twitter like that and be like, oh, that's a very well-adjusted and, you know, positive individual. It's obvious anyone who left those comments is just a complete fuckwad and really doesn't deserve any kind of attention or any kind of positivity in their life if they're going to crap on someone when they're down like that. That's pretty particularly fucked up. And the best part about it is when you call them out about it, they immediately move the goalpost. Oh, well, you know, it's pretty messed up. You guys would crap on me when I'm down. But Phil, didn't you make tweets about Pro Jared 2.5 years ago when he was down? I'm like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? What does that have to do with what you just did? Like, I am not a perfect human. I do things that are flawed all the time. I always make errors, right? And yes, sometimes I will do things that I'm not proud of. And sometimes I do things that some people could call hypocritical. That's absolutely correct. I think every human is you know, kind of guilty of that. I've talked about the Pro Jared situation a million times since it happened because people keep bringing it up. The fact that I literally never made an actual negative tweet about the guy. All I did was respond to one of his negative tweets about me and basically said, haha, now how the tables have turned because you used to make fun of me, but now you're being made fun of on the internet. And then I made a generalized tweet that had absolutely nothing specifically aimed at Pro Jared. I've never attacked Pro Jared. I've never criticized Pro Jared. It's never happened. And so when people ask me over the years, will you apologize to him? I say, no, I have nothing to apologize for because I never attacked the guy at all. He attacked me first. I just said, touche back at him when he was down because he always stabbed at me for no fucking reason. And I made a generalized tweet that was not directed at him. The thing is, these negative, toxic losers turn things into their own narrative to try to spin a story. So to them, the fact that I would say, man, you're beating me up when I'm down is like, oh, well, you did that to Pro Jared. Actually, I didn't. But you guys for 2.5 years have spun your own conspiracy theory narrative about the special meanings behind the things that I was saying on Twitter and made it that was the narrative when it wasn't. So you created a narrative and you used that as justification to do fucked up things on the internet. Even if what you're saying is true and I had done that to Pro Jared, that doesn't make it right for you to do it. So for you to try to spin it on me and say, oh, you're a hypocrite because you've done it before, doesn't mean that you're right in the right doing that. You're fucked up. If you think that me doing it is wrong, why are you doing it? Why are you jumping on a bandwagon of toxicity if you agree that that kind of behavior is wrong? It's not a justification. What it is called moving the goalpost, because when I point out that you're fucked up in what you're doing to me, oh, well, you know, move the goalpost to say you do it too and then it's okay. No, it's not. It's never okay. All right? Never, ever. Never, ever, ever is it okay. So that being said, fuck you. I mean that. Fuck you. Any scumbag who wanted to try to riff on me yesterday and be gross to me. I was just sharing my thoughts about what was going on, how I was nervous about it. What happens if that... just being very transparent with everyone. If that payment did not come through yesterday, and it was delayed till today or tomorrow, no groceries, so I have just enough food in the house for probably a day or two extra. So it would have been okay through the weekend, but then I would have really had no more food in the house. Jasper needed supplies, and him not having supplies, that's kind of messed up. And I was depending on that money to come through, and it had always come through overnight before, so I based my budget and my timing of my schedule with the payment coming through, and it didn't. And it actually terrified me for a little bit there. I didn't know what was going to happen. So we had to change our entire day schedule. Okay? What we ended up doing is basically staying home all day because I didn't have any money. I mean, like I said, I had less than $100. So what we did, we already were gonna order breakfast. Well, actually, I take it back. We were going to go out and get breakfast, but instead we said, well, let's stay home and order breakfast and order a little bit on the cheaper side, which we did. We ordered from a place that's way less expensive than maybe another place we normally would have went, and it was all right. The food was pretty good, but it wasn't amazing. Like we kind of wish we had gone out because we know what we ordered would have been a lot better fresh and in person rather than being delivered. But it is what it is. So we did that, and then we just sat around and waited all day. Kat was playing Yakuza 5, and I was watching her play and helping her out with some stuff in it, and Jasper was relaxing. We were having a good time. Basically, we had a relaxing day together, all right? So we kind of just sat around all day, and every once in a while I would go on Twitter, and I saw some news stories popping up that I commented on and the like, right? But again, these toxic people spin their narrative. This is supposed to be your day off, and here you are sitting on Twitter all day, reading one guy actually says this, reading Kiwi Farms and Twitter and responding to all the things that they're saying. Kiwi Farms? I haven't been on Kiwi Farms in fucking months. Like I said, I only go over there when people tell me, Phil, there's something really dangerous. You need to go over there and read it because people are threatening you and your family and saying fucked up stuff. You have to go check it out for your own personal protection. I never go over there. I mean, seriously, I think Kiwi Farms is living in everyone's minds except mine. I don't give a fuck about what happens over there with those fucked up people. Those are the worst dregs of the internet over there. You want to talk about the worst place to go? That's probably one of the worst websites you could ever stumble upon by accident. Because I don't think anyone in their right mind would intentionally go to a fucking place like that. I haven't been there in a million years. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about over there, nor do I give two shits. Alright? I'm just looking at all the negative shit being tossed about on Twitter here. And I'm like, I can't believe how disgusting these people are. But it never ceases to amaze me how low these people will go. Seriously. So yeah, here I am, I'm having a relaxing day with my wife, hoping the payment will come through, and getting shit on by about 5,000 people on Twitter because they're losers, complete brainless idiots. Okay. So anyway, I'd say it was probably between 3 and 4 p.m. So a lot of the day has already passed. Finally, the payment shows is coming through, but it's not in the bank account yet. It's just showing as, okay, the payment's being sent, but it's not actually showing in my bank account yet. So now I'm like, oh, great, because what happens now if the payment is showing as pending, but those funds aren't available, and now I can't use them today, right? That would suck, because that means today, meaning Thursday, I'd have to completely rearrange my schedule. I would have to make it so that maybe if the money shows today, I can go grocery shopping today. And again, try to make a special trip. Jasper needs supplies and stuff. And basically I'd have to screw up my whole streaming schedule today. Essentially, like, I'd have to maybe cancel the first stream and try to rush around early in the morning doing all these things before my wife goes to work, because my wife goes to work this afternoon. So, all this stuff's going through my head. Luckily, within a few hours, the payment did clear and hit my bank account. I was like, now I can go out and do everything I need to do. So Kat at that point just stayed home. She wasn't going to get ready to go out and do everything that late. So I just went out and did everything myself, grocery shopping, errands, running, and everything. A couple of hours out shopping and about, and came home. And then because we actually had some money, because the payment had come through, I actually ordered us a decent dinner. It's this Asian food place. I've told you guys about it before. It's kind of Asian fusion. They do both Japanese and Chinese cuisine. So I ended up ordering a bento box that has a variety of stuff, including some shrimp tempura, some katsu chicken, some chicken teriyaki, stuff like that. And my wife got a bunch of Chinese food. Like, she got a combo plate that had some what was it? Like chicken chow mein, but also it had I think General Tso's chicken and stuff like that. So we liked it a lot. We did. We were good. Wow, good. After being stressed out all day long about, this happening, the big payment came through. We're like, we can actually have a good dinner now. So we were relieved and we had a good dinner together. And that was basically our day out. That was our day out was a day in. We, instead of having a day out, which we had originally planned, we had to stay in all day. Now, what did I learn from this situation? Number one, I learned, do not depend on that payment being there first thing in the morning. It seems like it does consistently come through on the 21st of every month, no matter what. But it's no guarantee it's going to be there in the morning like it had been previous months. I mean, this was near disaster levels. All right, near disaster levels. Because if that money hadn't come through, we couldn't do anything that we needed to do on our day off, and essentially it was a wasted day off. And having to rearrange my work schedule around having to go out and do the stuff I should have done on Wednesday would have really sucked and negatively affected my business as well as everything else going on, right? So now I'll know, do not schedule my day off to be that day and expect that money to be there right away. I either need to have money saved up previous or have that day when the money clears be the day before my day off, etc. You see? So that's number one thing I learned. And number two, I learned no matter what I put on Twitter, people will turn it into something negative, despite the fact that that's not my intentions of what they're trying to say. Like, people were literally saying, oh, you see, you're putting this up on Twitter because you're expecting people to send you money. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? When did I say that? I'm not asking for anything at all. I'm just sharing a crappy life experience with people. That's the point of social media. It's called social. You're interacting with other people, you know, in society. That's the definition of being social. You know, not being an introvert and hiding everything from everyone else, but actually interacting with people out in society is called being social. So when I'm sharing that experience with people, by the way, I also share positive experiences with people. It's not just constant negativity, right? But these people are so sick in the fucking head, they turn everything into, oh, you posted that up because you're expecting people to send me money. No, I'm not expecting anything. I don't want money. I didn't ask for any money. You're out of your fucking minds. You're scumbags for even saying that. Really. Because, again, to these idiots, right, they can't believe that I would operate a business because I actually like what I do. They can't believe that I'm around for 13 years because I have genuine social interaction with you guys, and we have a great time together on streams. We talk with each other, we hang out. It's kind of a fun thing to do. Oh, by the way, there's also games that we can make progress in. It's kind of a two for one. But they don't believe that. They think that it's only about money. They think that, again, because they're so negative and they're so miserable in their own lives, they can't positively believe that positivity happens on a stream like mine. They can't believe, they literally cannot, it doesn't compute in their heads because their heads don't work like ours because they're fucked up in their heads because they have no positivity in their own lives, you see? So, pretty crazy. But I've learned that now that, like, no matter what I put on Twitter, these people will never leave me alone. They're always going to, anything I say, whether it's positive, negative, neutral, they will spin it as some kind of a toxic narrative to you know, for their own story. I post up, oh man, the payment didn't come, this sucks, we're stuck at home today. See, Phil's asking for money. Never asked for money, didn't want any money, received no money, and don't want any money on a day off like that when I'm not working. You know, if I'm streaming and you guys like to stream and you want to crowdfund the stream, please do. Absolutely, that's how I make a living. I'm not expecting anything on my day off. That's just crazy shit. These people are nuts. But again, to them, that's all they see. All they see are dollar signs. When they see my streams, all they see are dollar signs. They don't see the positivity and the fun we have on the streams. They just see, oh, this is Phil's income. That's all he cares about. Because they're scumbags. You see? So anyway, that's what I learned. I learned, number one, can't depend on the payment to be there right away. And number two, no matter what I say and do on the internet, these people will always turn it into something disgusting and negative, even if it's not. They will actually say that I did something that I didn't do. Like, some people were actually posting up, well, you're saying that you're starving now. You have no food for the week. Like, what are you talking? When did I say that? I said I can't go shopping for groceries for this coming week. That doesn't mean I have no food in the fucking house. Yeah, even if I couldn't have gone shopping yesterday, if I had waited a day or two, I still would have been all right. But yeah, probably by the weekend it would have started to get kind of dicey. But I would have been okay for a couple of days. But did I say anything not to that effect? No. That's what they made up. You see, they make everything up. They literally are just, they're nuts. They make up these crazy conspiracy theories based on nothing. And then they perpetuate them as fact. And they believe, wow, if enough of us nut jobs say the same thing, it must become a groupthink fact. You know, kind of like the election fraud groupthink that's not true. Like all the nut job fucking QAnon shit, they're their own QAnon. Only it's focused solely on me. That's incredibly fucking disturbing because that is insanity directed at me that I don't deserve and never did anything to actually warrant. What the fuck do? I sit here and I just play games all day and have fun with a cool audience, yet somehow this has summoned insane conspiracy nonsense. I just don't understand how you directed your attention on me when there's so much else going on this planet that's way more important than me and what I'm doing here. Yet you have to constantly stalk and harass me. You're out of your fucking minds. Every one of you who acts like this, you're nuts. You need to go seek professional help. You seriously need to. If you think this is a good use of your time, you are wasting your life away. One day, you're going to be sitting there on your deathbed, wondering why you spent 7 years of your life hating on Dark Side Phil instead of doing something positive when you could have been building something good for yourself. I mean that too. People are literally going to be thinking back and saying, what the fuck did I do with my life? This little insignificant streamer was someone who I focused on solely hating for like 5 years of my fucking life when I was in the prime of my youth and could have been doing positive shit with myself. Pretty insane. So anyway, yeah, that was pretty ridiculous yesterday, okay? Pretty fucking ridiculous. And I'm not going to let it affect me at all. I'm just going to move forward positively as usual. We're going to have a fun streaming week here, and these people are nuts out of their fucking gourds, and they can do whatever they want with their nut job shit. You know, it doesn't ride here. I'm not going to, you know, some people will be like, man, Phil, how do you keep doing it? Because that would throw me off if I was a content creator and had a day off and just commented on the fly about what's going on with my life, and everyone, you know, thousands of people shit on me on fucking Twitter. Fuck them. As I've told you guys many, many times, I use that as motivation. You know what? For every fucking dumb fuck, scumbag, brainless twit who wants to crap on me, that means I just need to succeed even harder. I need to push forward harder and keep doing what I'm doing, because there are people out there, again, the silent majority of people are who I'm tweeting for, not for those 1,000 idiots. The 1,000 loud idiots don't matter to me. I wouldn't still be here if it weren't for people who supported me, you know? I wouldn't. You guys love what I do. You want to see me continue being, you know, positive and having fun on streams, and that's always going to continue. It ain't going to be derailed by these morons. All right? So fuck them. Who gives a shit? All right? Let's have a good day today, shall we? All right, so let's talk a few quick news stories. This morning, EA had an EA Play event. 2 major announcements came out of it. The first being Battlefield Portal. A Battlefield, I don't know if this is actually going to be based on Battlefield 2042 or if it's going to be its own thing, because I didn't understand it. But Battlefield Portal is going to be a game where all the eras of Battlefield are mixed together. We're talking World War II through the future. That sounds really weird to me, but then they showed, you know, returning maps from previous Battlefield games that I guess were like fan favorites, and they essentially said it'll actually be old tech versus new tech in a competitive first-person shooter setting. And sometimes, I guess what people are saying is you could be like 4 players have the abilities from like the future, and like 30 players are World War II fighters, and it's like 30 versus 4. Because obviously people with future tech are going to have an insane advantage against those with World War II technology. That sounds weird as shit to me. Weird. So, I don't know how that's going to work. But definitely, people think that is going to be like a great thing. I don't know how that's going to work. Like, I'm a little skeptical hearing about this. It definitely sounds to me like it's something that it would be original, but I don't know how that's going to equate to like something competitive. It may be silly fun. It may feel really awesome to be a future soldier shooting out rocket-powered grenades, doing double jumps, and, you know, flying around doing special abilities and just mowing down a dozen World War II troops, you know, feeling completely overpowered. Then again, it might also be pretty interesting to see a ton of World War II troops group up and collectively fight against a future soldier and take him down. It'll feel like David versus Goliath, right? But I don't know. I'm interested to see what it's going to be. At least it's a little different. At least it's something original. At least it's not the same shit regurgitated over and over and over like a certain other first-person shooter studio seems to do every year, if you know who I'm talking about. Okay? So, that seems interesting to me. The other major announcement that came out of this EA Play is that the rumors were 100% true. Dead Space is being rebooted. It is not Dead Space 4. Dead Space is being recreated from the ground up and started over as a franchise. Now, from what they showed, it's still the same plot as the original Dead Space 1. It's mutated people turning into these monstrous freaks and killing everyone at a space station, the Ishimura. And it's actually, that's a ship, not a station. And it'll be your job as Isaac to figure out what the hell's going on and kill them. And they showed, you gotta shoot the limbs off. You gotta rip their limbs off. That's how you kill them. So, I mean, we're going back to, that's 2009? No, that's 2008. That's right. That was my first year where I was putting out consistent videos on YouTube in that fall. And I did Dead Space Scary as Hell. So we're talking, 13 years ago is when that franchise really started. And now they're going back to their roots to reboot it. Now, here's the question I have, okay? They're rebooting the series. The reason that the series stalled and basically eventually got canceled was because with Dead Space 3, I feel they made some design flaw choices. First of all, they made the game co-op. And by making that game co-op, they basically took away that feeling of dread, that feeling of, oh, you're by yourself, isolated, limited ammo, and the fact that you're always, like, in a bad situation. Like, that kind of was taken away. That whole survival horror, suspenseful fear aspect was taken away by making it a co-op game. By always having a co-op partner with you. Although there were some parts of the game where you were separated and playing separate parts at the same time. But in those stages where you're together, you're never afraid. You got a buddy there with you to help you. And whenever you're down on your luck, they can come save your ass. So you don't feel scared as much in Dead Space 3. And in addition, I'll be honest, they kind of wrote the plot into the ground. Like, the ending of Dead Space 3, for those who remember, is basically Brother Moons are awake. Meaning, you find out in Dead Space 3, the moon on Earth is not a moon. It's an alien being that's been dormant for thousands of years and finally decided to wake up to fucking eat Earth. Okay? So, essentially what you've been doing is trying to stop the moon from turning humans into these mutated freaks to invade the Earth and make the Earth become prey for these moon creatures. Carnivores. Alright? At the end of Dead Space 3, other moons arrive to eat the Earth. Now, how the fuck are you going to not even just beat one moon alien, but a ton of them? Right? So, they kind of, in my opinion, they kind of wrote themselves into a corner with that, because now all of the suspenseful, creepy aspect of the games is gone. Like, it almost went from, like, survival horror to, like, almost like Lovecraftian horror, because now you're in a feeling where you just can't win. There's no way you're going to win. You can't kill giant moon aliens. How the fuck are you going to do that? Right? So for me, when Dead Space 3 ended, I was like, damn. It was a crazy ending, but how are they going to fucking wrap this one up? I don't even know. And they never did. The series essentially ended and got canceled. Visceral Studios, the company that was making the games, was disbanded. And actually, most of the people who were the core game devs, alright, went on to make their own new game, which, by the way, if you're not aware, the game's in development right now, and I forget the name of it, but they're making their own new survival horror franchise because they feel that that's the route to go. They were so upset that basically Dead Space died like that they went on to do their own project. And I'm excited for when that project will eventually come out, because I absolutely loved that franchise, and I was sad when it went away. Okay? So, now, we've got Dead Space coming back. Apparently, EA has redirected this new studio. Not new studio. What's the name of the studio? I actually tagged them on Twitter because I had seen that they had posted up about it. And, well, let's see here. I gotta try to find it. Now I can't, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it off the top of my head. Nah. I'd have to look at my history of tweets to find it. I tweeted them. Wait a minute. Maybe I can find it right now. Oh, they're called Motive Studio. Motive. Here they are. Yeah. He says, our studio is thrilled to be working on the remake of Dead Space and deliver on your worst nightmare. We can't wait to show you more. So, I don't know who Motive is. I don't know what else they've made. I guess I'll have to look into it. But certainly, I'm excited. Dead Space was one of my favorite survival horror IPs of that console generation. And I was very sad. I actually remember when I first started live streaming in 2013. That's when Dead Space 3 came out. And after I beat it co-op, I went back and did an entire second run playthrough of it, streaming just for fun. I was sitting there on my couch in Connecticut, drinking and playing Dead Space 3 again, this time solo rather than co-op, at a harder difficulty level to unlock trophies and stuff. And I actually had a lot of fun doing that. Oh, here we go. They made Star Wars Squadrons and Battlefield 2 flight mechanics. Oh, really? I didn't play Star Wars Squadrons, but I am actually, I have it on Game Pass. And it was actually something I was going to check out to see what it's all about, because some people actually said it was pretty good last year when it came out, and I didn't have a chance to check it out. So yeah, anyway, like, I love Dead Space. This is good news to me. I just hope with this new Motive studio taking up the reins that the franchise kind of feels still Dead Spacey. You know what I mean? Like, that franchise always had this unique feel to it, and I hope that it still has that, and not that they try to remake it and it feels like a different game. You know what I mean? I guess we'll have to see. They are remaking it from the ground up, and one important thing to note is that it is exclusively for current gen and PC, meaning PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. It is not being made for Xbox One or PS4. So that means it's going to be a full-on modernized graphics deal. Okay? Pretty cool. I guess we'll see how it goes. Alright? So the last piece of news to cover is the one that everyone's been talking about nonstop for the last 24 hours. The state of California has mounted a giant lawsuit against Activision Blizzard, alright, for an unsafe working environment, citing that Activision Blizzard has created an unsafe work environment for its female employees through a frat boy-like atmosphere, rampant sexism, bigotry, sexual harassment, unfair treatment, and unequal treatment of employees based on a gender basis. And they have cited hundreds of hours of interviews, numerous cases where female employees seemed to be well equipped for a promotion, and or even in some cases pretty much factually and objectively were proven to be better employees than their coworkers, but their coworkers who were male were invited into almost like an inner circle boys club kind of a vibe, where they would be called into secret meetings with management that the women were not allowed into. Guys would walk around the office sexually harassing employees constantly, sometimes even drinking and not being held accountable for their actions. Women feeling like it was a complete unsafe work environment because they didn't know when next they were going to be harassed or passed over for an opportunity or a promotion. There's actually concrete reports that there were men in power, positions of power, and they would divvy out their workloads to other employees under them so that they could sit around playing Call of Duty all day and pretend like they were working. And the worst, I mean, for me, this is the most disgusting thing in the whole lawsuit. Apparently documented evidence, all right, that there was a female employee who was regularly sexually harassed by her coworkers, okay? Somehow someone got a hold of nude photos of her and passed them all around the office, so every coworker had them, to the point where her life was becoming unmanageable. She was in deep depression. Then apparently they went on some kind of a work trip or work retreat, and her direct supervisor went on this work retreat with like a butt plug and fucking lube and was sexually harassing all the women on the retreat, and sexually harassed her so badly she killed herself during the trip. At least that's what I was trying to read a summary of. I didn't read the whole... The document is so disgusting, reading about this shit that happened. Alright. You know, it's just... What the fuck? And it's not... Oh, it would be one thing if, like, that was the one thing, but it's like a dozen or more things that are all, like, documented accusations against Activision Blizzard. Alright? Now, by the way, this is just coming on the coattails of a report that the CEO of Activision Blizzard, despite the fact that in the last year he laid off a ton of employees, that he just received record-breaking profits and payments for his performance in the company. Like, the board narrowly voted on him getting an insane amount of money and compensation for how he's running this company. This just happened like 2-3 weeks ago, and everyone on the internet groaned and said, this motherfucker doesn't deserve it. Activision Blizzard isn't that great of a game company that this guy's getting treated like, a fucking emperor or some shit. And then this hits. Okay? Now, by the way, again, this is all in a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard. Is it true? Is it not? That's going to come out in court. That's not something that we should all be sitting here trying to determine for ourselves because we don't have the information. Unless you know someone who worked for Activision Blizzard and was directly in that environment and can answer, you can't definitively say one way or the other. I mean, obviously, if the state of California spent years building this case against Activision Blizzard, you have to at least think that some of this has to have some roots, some nuggets of truth. It doesn't necessarily mean it's all true. At the same time, you shouldn't just blanket defend the company either. In my opinion, we just got to approach this with an open mind and say, we got to see what happens in the investigation now. Okay? So, it's crazy because I've seen so many different things on the internet about this in the last 24 hours. Of course, the vast majority of people on social media are raising the pitchforks. Here we go. We got to do this. It's time for cancel culture. It's time for the SJW movement to destroy these fuckers. Every game that ever came out of Activision Blizzard is the worst game I've ever played, and we can no longer play any games from them at all because these horrendous actions from this company, And then on the other side, you got people that are basically saying, well, we don't know what's true and what's not. Okay? We don't know what's going on, and you got to wait and be more level-headed. So, for me, listen, am I shocked to hear this is happening at a major gaming company? No, I'm just shocked at the level of stuff that's being directed at them by the state of California. Keep in mind, this is not some frivolous attorney who's looking at, oh, here's some big dollar signs for me. Let me try to slam these fuckers with like a civil lawsuit and make a ton of money in a settlement. This is the state of California getting so much evidence over a 2-year period that they have been able to mount a major case against this game developer. This is a very different situation. So I'm very interested to see how it goes. At the very same time, I'm not believing every single thing blindly either. I think the best way to go about this is to have a level head and say, let the professionals do their job and figure out what's really going on over there. All right? And go from there. I don't think that it's not our job. Excuse me, I have to burp. Excuse me. Whew. So, it's not our job as gamers to make this judgment against Activision Blizzard. It's the job of our legal system. Our legal system needs to figure out what's really going on there. Okay? But, of course, what's going to happen is you're going to have people who are going to say, I will never, since they're embroiled in this case, I will never play another Activision Blizzard game again, and stuff like that. And, that's your right. If you're so disgusted by these reports and these allegations that you would never play a game out of that studio again, I mean, okay. What I would argue is you have to understand that there were women who worked there, who worked on these games, who were subjected to these terrible things, but they still pumped out good games. And I've talked over the years about the ability to separate someone's body of work against the personal wrongdoings of that person or the belief systems of that person. And certainly I'm not saying that we should accept that these things are happening at a game company and just say it's okay. It's definitely not. If these allegations are true, absolutely Activision Blizzard should be held accountable for what they've done. Yes, Bobby Kotick or whatever his name is, the CEO, should be held accountable for allowing this to happen under his watch. All right. But that doesn't mean that you just completely erase the company from existence. You know what I mean? Like, it baffles me that some people are like, well, cancel culture, that's it. Can't play World of Warcraft, can't play Call of Duty, can't play Overwatch, can't play anything anymore, right? That just kind of like, I don't know. That, to me, that kind of like is a knee-jerk reaction to to that. And what you guys got to understand is that even though this is definitely within your right, if that's really the reaction you want to have, you can. I mean, it's well within your right to buy what you want and boycott what you want and do what you want. In your life, that is your right as a human being to make that choice, okay? But you got to understand that there's a ridiculous amount of things that you probably right now deal with in your life that you don't even know. I mean, do we even need to talk about like China and the fact that the vast majority of products in America that we buy are from China, yet China has documented and had really bad human atrocities, that China is still a communist government, that China has all this stuff going on. I mean, the controversy that, yes, the coronavirus may have come out of China. I mean, really. But we still buy Chinese shit. We haven't boycotted China yet. So, see, the point I'm making is, you can't, to me, that's like a complete 100% knee-jerk reaction to this situation. That's what I feel. Like, I wouldn't want to say, just completely boycott everything that Activision Blizzard has done or is doing. But at the same time, I absolutely want this completely investigated, and I want to know what actually happened. And if it's true, if even one of the allegations are true, that's fucking horrible. If more than one or most of these allegations are true, that company needs a routing. They need management to be ripped from the top down, starting with Bobby and everyone else below him who enabled this to happen. They need to be kicked the fuck out. Just kicked out. Alt-right, voted out. Not more than, oh, well, they'll be moved from their positions, but they'll be put into other cushy, protected positions that have no real power, yet they're still going to get millions of dollars of compensation every year. No. They need to be booted from the company completely. Boot. Get them the fuck out and stop rewarding them for the bad behaviors. We just had, in Ubisoft, a routing of management. Yet the guy, Yves Guillermo, wherever the fuck his name is still in charge. And most people are very skeptical that anything has changed at the company because the guy who oversaw the entire company and all that bad stuff happened under his watch is still in charge and has had zero disciplinary action taken against him. And it's like, then how is anything going to change if the guy who allowed that to happen in his company is still there? Right? So if you're telling me that they get sued, it gets determined that they're guilty, and then all they do is shuffle chairs around, how the fuck does that fix anything? You see? So let's see what happens. This is going to be an ongoing story, likely for years, because when you get legal stuff like this going on, this is probably going to be a trial that'll take many years to figure out how will this now affect Activision's bottom line, right? They were just ready to announce the new Call of Duty coming out in probably October. How now will Call of Duty be affected by this, right? What about Overwatch 2? That's in development, where the guy who was in charge of Overwatch quit the fucking company mid-development, right? Could it be because of something like this, right? A lot of people are kind of wondering now. Gee, I wonder why people were quitting Ubisoft in droves, and now it seems like people are quitting Activision Blizzard, right? So, I guess we'll see. But that's the big news. And obviously, yes, I'd be excited to find out what is going to happen with this, because it could change everything in the industry. This could end up being the textbook case of what is going on in game development and how to fix it. Or maybe not. Maybe it'll amount to nothing, right? So I guess we're going to see what happens. See, even in my stream chat, people are against each other and at each other's throats. Some people are like, this is cancel culture bullshit, and I don't believe it. And other people are like, no, if this is legit civil rights allegations, civil rights violations, we need to have this company held accountable. For once, stop saying that game development is somehow immune to all of this. Just take a look at all the shit that they put their employees through with crunch and abusive employees. It's already well documented, and now this on top of it. It's like, give me a fucking break, man. When are we going to take game development seriously and hold them accountable like every other occupation on Earth? Right? So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens, because this could be a groundbreaking situation. And I want, if this actually happened, yes, absolutely, I want them held accountable for it. Real accountability, not this musical chairs internal bullshit that solves nothing. So we'll see. But anyway, that's all the news, guys. About to get to shout outs already. We're going pretty late into into our pre-stream here because I had a lot to talk about today. So we're gonna do shout outs in just a second here, but ladies and gentlemen, today we have a special surprise for you. Hold on, I have to burp. I'm drinking seltzer water this morning. Oh my god, it's making me a gaseous entity today. I feel like a gas giant that could explode at any moment. Phil the Gas Giant. I'm sure this will be my new nickname now. Anyway, thank you guys for putting up with my burps. They're absolutely disgusting, and I'm sorry. Alright, so I have a special surprise today. But it's not what anyone thinks because, as usual, you know, again, the conspiracy theorist idiots with their tinfoil hats, right, have to go along with ridiculous things and make shit up constantly. So what they've been saying for the past several days since I alluded that we would have a special surprise today is that, oh, Phil just got a new Xbox Series X and Phil got a laptop, and obviously he's lying and he didn't actually get these things donated by fans or viewers. You know, not that he would keep the identity of those people secret because we systematically harass everyone who contributes to his content in a positive way, but instead he's lying. So obviously what he's going to reveal today is the next thing that he claims he needs, which is a new gaming chair. And he's going to reveal it to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, you are absolutely 100% correct. Here is my new game. Darn! You're wrong, stupid! It's nothing like that at all, actually. Today's special surprise. Alright, I will spoil but not spoil. Alright, I'll give you a half spoiler. Okay? Over the course of this summer, I've been complaining about something on and off on the streams, and someone picked up on it and contacted me behind the scenes. And they said, Phil, you know, you've been getting a lot of support recently. I'd like to help you out. Can I help you out in this way? And I said, absolutely. And they presented me with a few choices, and I picked one of those choices. Okay? And the item arrived. And I'm like, this is good. Now we can start it on this new streaming week. We can start this up. So, ladies and gentlemen, today, if we hit the vest goal, there will be a new vest reveal on stream. Now, I will not say anything further because this new vest actually, well, I will explain if and when the new vest gets revealed. Let's put it that way. Okay? If and when we hit that, and I reveal the vest, then I will show it to you and I'll explain a little bit. But I don't want to explain and then jump the gun. And, you know, so there you go. So today, there will be no vest poll because if we hit the tips goal of $100 to see the vest, it'll be the new vest on stream. All right? Fair enough? Okay, so now let us do shout-outs. We'll start with YouTube shout-outs today. So let's switch over to the YouTube contributions queue, and let me refresh it, because it looks like it's outdated from a couple days ago. It didn't refresh. Let me update this. Okay, so Ben did a $2 super chat. He says, why doesn't your wife help with bills since she works? She does. She does. I've said this a million times. Just because I'm not going to give you a fucking spreadsheet and say, here's what she pays for. Here's what I pay for. Here's what this. Here's what that. It's, you know, what the fuck? It's none of your fucking business. She does help. She pays for things. She contributes to the budget. She buys things for Jasper. She buys things for the house as well. She contributes. But it's none of your fucking business for me to break down how she contributes. So mind your own fucking business. How about that? Hold on. Let me present you with a 30-page PowerPoint presentation on how the budget works. Fuck off. Just Chillin' has done a $5 super chat and says, with the UK having shortages at the grocery store, I'd like to suggest you put together a 45-day food supply in case the US repeats early 2020. Likely that's not going to happen over here. our supply chain was rocked last year by COVID, but now has leveled out, and apparently now a lot of these, suppliers have tried to put things in place to prevent that from happening again, because now they realize it actually has potential to happen. It did shock a lot of people last year when it happened, because they never expected a pandemic like that could happen, and then it did, and they were like, oh fuck. But now here in the United States, I think we're getting back to better levels. But the truth is, just having a 45-day food supply is incredibly difficult. How do you have healthy foods for 45 days that are non-perishable? You know what I mean? Like, when I think everything that we eat, there's vegetables, bread. I mean, bread, I guess you could freeze if you want to have a whole freezer full of fucking bread. But you know what I'm saying? Like, how much non-perishable food items could you get that are going to last a month and a half? A lot of the times when we buy stuff, because there's, only 2 of us here, a lot of that stuff doesn't end up lasting all week. It goes bad, which sucks. We buy it from this fucking store, and it goes bad before we can even finish it. And that pisses me off, because obviously, when we spend money on food, we don't want it to go bad. That's a waste of money and food. But what am I going to do? Buy a bunch of shitty frozen food? You know what I mean? Oh, we fucking bought Totino's pizza rolls because they last like 4 years in the freezer. We do have some backup. Like, for example, we usually have 1 or 2 meals a week that can be made at any time because they don't have perishable food ingredients. So, for example, one of the things we do as a staple is pasta. When I make my pasta sauce, my homemade pasta sauce, we freeze a ton of it. And then at any time, we can thaw it out and boil a pot of pasta, and you have pasta dinner. And it's good like that. But, if you want really good fresh meals, you need to have fresh ingredients. So it's impossible to really do a month and a half of healthy food. I don't know about that. Unless you're just eating fucking granola. Anyway, Chameleon007 also did a super chat and said, WTF. Okay, then I don't even know what that's in response to. But thank you, Chameleon. Shit. Chameleon007 for the latest super chat. I appreciate that. Now, let's jump over to tips. Let's do it. So, let's see here. Jack Bioris did a super chat. He says, Chef Boyardee is safe and better than your sauce. Now, that's just completely factually untrue, and I'm incredibly insulted that you would say that, Jack. So because of that, I'm only going to put your name up on the leaderboard as Jack B as punishment, because you've personally insulted me and my homemade sauce. So take that. But thank you for the super chat. All right, let's start with tips. We got Romy Rowe tipped me $4.20. Says, what if instead of doing Call of Duty every week, that stream turns into a multiplayer madness stream where you play new different multiplayer games like Halo, PUBG. There's a new game called Splitgate that has portals and rogue companies. They're all great. I mean, yeah, it could be. If you guys, number one, are thinking that Call of Duty is getting stale, all right? And if there was a clamor to play something different and try different multiplayer stuff every week, I'm okay with that. The problem is you got to understand something. If I'm playing something different every week, I will never get good at anything. You will literally have me flubbing it and playing games and sucking ass every week. There will never be, oh, Phil got good at this game and did good today in multiplayer, because every time I'm playing something new and I'm jumping in at an entry level and not really understanding anything about what I'm playing, you see? So if that's what you really want once a week, you can have that, but to me, people have apparently enjoyed seeing me play Call of Duty so consistently over the course of this last year and grow and improve with that game that they've enjoyed seeing that and want that to continue. When I stopped playing Call of Duty, people literally asked me to play it again. After about 2-3 weeks, they said, we're bored, we want more Call of Duty action. So I brought it back per popular demand, you see? So let's see what happens. Again, with Game Pass, it opens up almost a whole new world of possibilities. It really does. So we'll see what happens. Snow crawled up to $1.30, so I want to say, the abuse you got on Twitter last night was disgusting. Those trolls harass, dox, and stalk every fan of yours who tweet at you and wonder why we're afraid of engaging. The silent majority of fans massively support you. I know that, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the silent majority. It's the silent majority that consistently supports me. Ladies and gentlemen, the person who donated the Xbox Series X is part of the silent majority. Right? This is someone who regularly watches my stuff for years and years and years, was upset that I don't have a way to get the Xbox Series X, and donated one. That's why I have one. These people are longtime viewers. A lot of these people have been watching since the very beginning. And they that's what I love about what I do. that these people are here and enjoy what I do, no matter what the hate is thrown at me, what conspiracy, what nonsense. They're still here to support, and thank you for that. SD Chargers 1 tipped me $2, said, are you playing Stanley Parable when it's released on consoles? I would love to see you play Hello Neighbor on Game Pass. I've already did a full playthrough of Stanley Parable on PC many years ago, and it's a hilarious game. I really enjoyed it, but I probably wouldn't play it again. But I would play Hello Neighbor. Hello Neighbor is actually a game I would have been interested in playing and never got to, and it is under Game Pass. It's one of the things I added as I will download later or whatever. So, excuse me. Roll Me Row tipped me $1.30 and says, someone traded me my PlayStation 5 digital for a $2,000 Optiplex 7780 all-in-one computer. Still brand new in a box. Does that make me a scalper? No, it makes you a very clever barterer. Because that's what it's called, bartering. Doing a verbal negotiation to trade one good for another. Or multiple goods for other multiple goods. So there you go. Kratos XO took me $1.30. And he says, I've been a fan of yours since Left 4 Dead days, and I think that you should keep some stuff private and in-house. You're throwing gasoline on the fire when you make tweets about not getting paid, etc. on Twitter and streams, and I respect you. And the fact that you keep it real, but some things should be private. And, you know, I agree with you, because, as I've said over the years, the more that I share, sadly, it gives more, like you said, it's exactly correct terminology here, more fuel to the fire. The more that I reveal to you about my private life, the more these crazy conspiracy theorists will just make up more shit about me. That is 100% true, and it's documented over the years that this has happened. This is not, you know what I mean? This is not, oh, this is a shock or a surprise that it's happening. The more I share, the more that they fucking find a way to twist it into something disgustingly negative, right? So I agree with you. At the very same time, Kratos, I don't feel that I should be a prisoner to these fuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, why should my life be dictated by them and their actions? So you're telling me now I can never share anything with anyone? I can never talk about something from behind the scenes that's not a part of a stream. I could never reveal something that happened, nice or negative, to myself and my family because of these people? Like, that's like, essentially that would be to me like giving in and saying, you literally can't do anything that's fun anymore, or be honest or truthful or transparent with anyone because for fear that these people are going to fuck with your life, right? And I'm not going to live like that. If I feel like I want to share something, I will. Now, you're absolutely right. I should try to sit down and calculate what makes sense, what doesn't. Yesterday, I felt that sharing the fact that, damn, after, you know, a 6-day work week, I finally get a day off, and that day off essentially kind of stinks because I'm stuck at home. And, you know, it lets people kind of see the pitfalls of being a content creator. That when you're reliant on, you know, a company like that to send you a giant lump payment, if it doesn't come through, man, that could really, really be tough. And I think a lot of people watch my content and they listen to my ups and downs, the things that are great and the things that aren't so great about being a content creator, and they learn a lot about it. And they determine for themselves that that's something that they want to pursue. This is something that I'm learning the hard way because I used to get multiple payments a month. I had a Twitch payment. I had a YouTube payment. At one point, my Patreon was bigger, and I was getting a big Patreon support payment every month. And, you know, things have changed now. Now that I'm just getting one major lump payment a month, this is something that I have to now kind of budget towards. It's something that I have to make sure that I have money leading up to, so I'm not in a bad situation where I can't afford stuff before it. You see what I'm saying? And, yeah, it's very, very different than the life that I was living before when this happened with Twitch and losing my partnership and all of that, okay? So, it is what it is, but I agree with you that I should be more careful. At the same time, I don't feel like I should be having to withhold every single piece of stuff I ever want to talk about because some scumbag may harass me about it. So, I gotta find the happy medium, right? Snowcrawl to the $1.30 says, why do you want to fire the entire C-suite of every company embroiled in a minor scandal? Do you ever allow people to redeem themselves? You were allowed to do so on YouTube and Twitch. As Jesus said, may he without sin cast the first stone. And I agree with you there. Because everyone out there has probably done things that they're not proud of and have made mistakes. At the same time, Snowcrawl, you have to understand a difference between, oh, you know, Phil said something stupid on a stream versus, oh, A company systematically harassed their employees for a decade and, caused employees to basically live in an unsafe work environment every day, and someone committed suicide as a result. Those aren't exactly an apples to apples comparison there. That's more of like an apple to a genetically modified 27-story tall apple. It's a little bit different. I think they call it a scale, and I don't think they're of the same scale. I'm just saying. They're a little bit different. These companies should be held accountable for this kind of shit. You understand? And Snowcurl says, I think it's an exaggerated claim. Then maybe it is. Let the legal system figure that out. I agree with you that people should not go immediately into full-on cancel culture mode and say, that's it. Destroy Activision Blizzard. Everything they've ever done is tainted and bad. Can't play World of Warcraft. Can't play Diablo. Can't play Overwatch. Can't play Call of Duty. Can't play anything under them. That's ridiculous. That's a knee-jerk reaction. Even if the allegations are true, there were women who worked on those games, right? Women who worked hard to make those games be good. Kind of a slap in the face to now say everything they've ever worked on is worthless, don't you think? So let's see what happens. Let's not jump the gun. Murdoch has tipped me a whopping $75. Wow, thank you, Murdoch. He says, I hope EA Motive. Oh, that's the name of the studio making Dead Space. Don't implement the same crappy microtransactions in the new Dead Space like they did in Dead Space 3. I don't remember the microtransactions from Dead Space 3 because I don't think I did anything with them. So I'm not exactly sure how they affected the game because I don't think they affected my game in any way. I guess I kind of ignored them. But I agree with you. I don't want microtransactions in any fucking game, let alone a fucking single-player survival horror game. So I certainly hope that they do not implement that. I agree with you there. Dimitri the Man tipped me $50 and says, for the new vest, comrade. All right, comrade. Thank you, comrade. That means it is absolutely official. There will be vestige on this stream. There will be a reveal of a brand new vest on this stream. Yes. Albert Aponte has tipped me $5. Says, Phil, I hope you're doing well. The silent audience will always stick with you. And you know what? Let me say this to someone like Alfred, who's a regular here. Thank you for sticking it out. I'm absolutely sure you've probably been the target of online harassment for supporting me. And I appreciate the fact that you stick that out and you still come by and you chill with me and we have a good time every day on stream. I really appreciate those who are not the silent majority, but actually become kind of the vocal minority and speak up to support me in a vocal way, despite the fact that they're taking a risk doing so. I really appreciate that. Jad F tipped me $1.30 and says, just a hint, creator and producer of Dead Space, Glenn Schofield from Visceral Games, is doing his own Dead Space spiritual successor called the Callisto Protocol for 2022, and the trailer from E3 looks amazing. That's right. I didn't remember the name, but I did mention that earlier on this very pre-stream. I said that they're doing their own deal. So we could have, how cool would this be? The Dead Space reboot from Motive Studios going up against the Callisto Protocol from the original creators of Dead Space. A Dead Space showdown of destiny. That could be pretty cool. To me, the more true survival horror gameplay, the better. And what I mean by that is not one of these fucking first-person games where you walk around and do nothing and they call it horror. A game with actual gameplay mechanics, combat, that's what I like in survival horror. And I'm very much looking forward to hopefully a new slew of survival horror games because I love them so much. Some of my favorite playthroughs I've ever done for survival horror stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have gone incredibly long on this pre-stream. Let's take a quick break. This will not be an extended break, maybe 5 minutes for me to take a leak here, okay? And then basically to jump in, we're going to play Skyward Sword HD. We're continuing on with the Elden Volcano, which I get the feeling I'm nearing the end of the exploratory part and then heading into the dungeon next. Oh, wait, there's actually more. Oh, my God, there's more super chats. Oh, crap. Let's see here. I got to do more shout outs quickly. Okay, I'm going to try to get through these. Hold on. We're not done. Zerk Amos did a $2 super chat talking about me getting a financial advisor again. I think we just glossed over that stupid shit. Living Like Log did a $5 super chat. Says, I respect your grind and hustle. Many people don't understand how hard it can be, especially mentally. Forget those haters. Your supporters are here. All right, thank you for that. I think there was another super chat that came in. Hold on. There it is. The Irony did a $5 super chat and saying, why do armpits sometimes smell like a corn chip factory? I wouldn't know. My armpits have never smelled like a corn chip factory. But man, when I'm ripe, I am fucking ripe. Like, when I stink in the armpit, you better back away. If you're anywhere in my general vicinity, your nostril hairs are going to be en fuego. You know what I'm saying? The good news is, that's not very often. I actually usually don't have bad armpit smell. Almost never. And I actually use Mitchum deodorant. I like Mitchum deodorant. I've used it for a very long time. And Mitchum deodorant is pretty damn good. It's pretty powerful. And it stops that stink. So I would recommend, if you smell like corn chips or Doritos, first of all, stop putting chips under your arm. It's probably one of the major problems. But you might want to adjust your diet as well. But use some good deodorant, right? All that homeopathic shit, that shit don't work. Go buy real stuff. Wolf's Paradox just did a super chat. Said, I see the Dead Space remake trailer. No, because it happened when I was streaming. But I know that they are doing this remake, and apparently people are saying it looks pretty creepy and similar to the original Dead Space. That's all I know. So thank you for the super chat. All right, guys. Let's take a quick break. When I come back from the break, it is Skyward Sword HD and the reveal of a brand new vest. Sound good? All right. I will be back in just a few. I take this opportunity yourselves, grab a drink, a snack, use the restroom, whatever you need to do. I'm going to be back shortly with the Dead Space remake, I was about to say. With Skyward Sword HD. All right, guys, thanks. I'll see you in a few.